Fife Flyers TV, sponsored by the Bay Hotel, Fife's premier wedding venue.
Todd, what was your take on that win tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty pleased with the entire weekend's performance. It was, and I know the guys had to dig deep tonight. Last night was a little disappointing due to the fact that we potentially could have won that hockey game. We near enough did enough, but they regrouped tonight and came out, and they knew the importance of this game, and they didn't disappoint.
Did you think the scoreline was going to be a bit closer, given that Fife was the third game of the weekend and Braehead had played at home last night?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't concerned about it. You know, we made a tactical decision to rest Andy for this game. I thought Jordan played a fantastic hockey game last night. He kept us in that building in Manchester, where we had to face a bit of an onslaught until we adjusted to the size of it. And make no means about it, the difference in sizes of ice surface between Fife and Manchester is enormous. And you know, we settled in there, and Jordan kept us in there and gave us a chance, and we were just about home. But it didn't work out for us. But they came back tonight, and they dug deep into their reserves, and you know, they deserve to be happy with their performance this weekend, because I thought it was very good.
And tonight, a lot of standout performances and some great goals as well tonight.
Some really nice goals, which I'm sure is great to watch. I mean, obviously, from a coaching perspective, it's the league and conference points that are most important to us. But a few guys that hadn't scored for a while that might have been feeling it, but they came up big tonight for us.
And 4 goals on that first line, so Heelis got 2 and Bludoff got 2 as well.
Yeah, I think Heelis might have had 4 points tonight. It was, you know, and regardless of that, I went into the dressing room, and after the first period, I think that, you know, we talked about Danek's offensive pressure in the forecheck, which kept turning their D back, and he turned over 2 or 3 key pucks, which I believe one resulted in a goal. But you know, that's the kind of stuff that we're really trying to instill in the guys, and that's a lot of hockey they played this weekend, and for them to come in and put in that performance, very heartening for us, and you know, so overall, very pleased with the weekend.
When it went into the second interval, Flyers were 5-1 up. What were you saying to the boys at that point? Did you feel it was game over at that point?
No, you never want to go into a dressing room with guys focused to say it's game over. I mean, you go in there, and our message to them was strictly stick to the game plan, and remember what makes us successful as a club. And you know, we do have a way to play that everybody's embraced, and when we do it, and when we're clinical about it, you know, we're a very good club that can compete with anybody. So it was really more about maintaining focus and coming out in the third and seeing that game out.
Yeah, it's 3 wins out of 3 so far against Braehead and 17 goals scored. I mean, has that just been the difference between the two sides this year so far?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you and I have talked many times over the years about the rivalry between the clubs, and you know, we've kind of seen the ebb and flow both ways. Right now, it appears to be going our way a little bit. I'm certainly not complaining about that, but you know, I'm sure everybody's been around long enough to know that Braehead Clan are going to have something to say about it. So while the tide is moving our way, you know, we have to be calculated and take advantage of that, because that club's not going to take this lying down, and you know, they're going to get themselves that ship righted over there, and you know, and when they do, watch out. So we're preparing for them, and every game it's business as usual for us. And you know, I really feel that, you know, the systems are, we talk about these all the time, right? The systems are really no different from what we've put into place over the course of the last number of years. It's the execution and the players buying into it, and you know, we have guys enjoying their hockey, which also contributes to, you know, that little bit of extra life. And it appears just from hearing that the crowd are really enjoying it too.
Just on that point, when you do watch the guys scoring goals, even just in the game, big smiles on their faces, they are really enjoying their hockey. That must be great to see as a coach.
Oh yeah, but I mean, we get to see these guys out on the ice, but that also transfers into the room. I've said since the start of the season, sometimes you can walk into a team and know when there's chemistry and when there's guys getting along and having fun at what they do. And really a big message for us is, as pro hockey players, yeah, absolutely, you're making your living from it, and that's important. But if you're not enjoying what you do, it becomes a job just like anything else. And sometimes, on tough nights, that's a harder job than a lot. You're going out there and getting beat up and hurt, but you don't feel it as much when you're winning hockey games. And right now, we've been doing that. And winning's an attitude just like losing, right? So hopefully we can find a way to keep that going and continue to enjoy ourselves.
The team chemistry, how does it contrast maybe teams that you've had in previous seasons here?
You don't really, as a coach, you don't really want to compare teams. I will say one thing, that as a group of guys, this is a really fun group to work with. They're a lot younger than me now, and so sometimes you find yourself on a little bit different wavelength, but they're just a young, enthusiastic group. I've worked with older teams here, and we've just had some quality individuals come through this organization over the years. So you'd be hard pressed for me to say a bad word about anybody. But this season, when you win some hockey games, it does make it easier to come to the rink, and we've got off to a bit of a winning start here. And like I said earlier, it's just finding a way to keep that rolling and becoming an attitude and believing that you can do that every time you come down here.
You've always said that the road to the conference goes through Braehead Clan. So what's your thoughts going to the rest of the campaign to do with the conference?
Yeah, well, I mean, it really is, because they're perennial winners of the cup, and the last time somebody else won it, we have him working with us right now, and Hutch is a very valuable asset to us. As a coaching team, I think that we work together very well, and it's in the office, win, lose, or draw. It's a very good working atmosphere, and as far as the conference goes, with the likes of Dundee and Edinburgh strengthening and improving, it is going to be a difficult slog. Like, this division for maybe a number of years hasn't been recognized as the toughest division, but you're seeing results come out of us that says, hey, we're here, and we want to be in contentions of things. So as far as our ethos or attitude towards this, every conference game that comes up, these guys already know how crucial it is, and we have to take it a game at a time.
A few younger Scottish players, Josh Kuhn, Sean Beattie, Rhys Cochran, Chad Smith got some ice towards the end of the game. How big a part are they going to have to play this year? Well,
it's very, very difficult to play that role when you're on the bench and not getting as much ice as you would like. I think as hockey players, we've all been there. The important part is that we communicate what we're trying to accomplish and where they fit into this team. And then when there's games, certainly that I can get them into the game and feel even more part of the club. But what they do is, and people will know this, but they don't see it, is they come week in, week out. They're at every training session, they work hard, they're on the bench every game waiting for their opportunity to play. And whatever form that comes in, you take your chance when you can get it. And tonight was a night where they were able to get, maybe a good 7 to 10 minutes of playing time, and it's very difficult to come off the bench in the third period and be at your best. Normally you get into a warm-up and you're right into it, but I thought they did all right. You can see that the pace is even quicker this year, and guys can switch off if they've been sitting there for 40-50 minutes, so it's hard to make a judgment on that. But as long as they know that they're as important on this team as anybody else, and buy in, the kids will get their opportunity, and they're going to be good hockey players for us.
Just finally, 4-point weekend, just in case of taking that momentum into next weekend, 2 big home matches.
Yeah, and they're definitely not going to be easy matches. Everybody knows who the Sheffield Steelers are and the Cardiff Devils are in this league. They're coming up north, and you know, we're going to have to be at our best. You know, possibly to date, going to be our sternest test at home. And you know, the good thing about our group is that a lot of them don't know teams in the country. They don't have preconceived notions. They're going to come out here and play their trade just like they do every night. And you know, if we sharpen up and you know, you saw a few mistakes out here tonight. You can't make those mistakes against teams like that because they'll punish you. So we'll prepare them all week, and you know, it's going to be business as usual against these teams coming up north.
Just that. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Bay Hotel, where your dream wedding becomes reality. Visit us at thebayhotel.net.